And just like that, it goes from somebody being killed for no reason at all to the guy at the Super Bowl halftime show was speaking Spanish. We ought to be embarrassed of ourselves as a country. It's hilarious. It's surprisingly not surprising. USA, USA, USA. Welcome aboard the Uncommon Show. My name's Tyson. We're going to talk about real life. We're going to get honest. We're going to get deep. And you know what? We're going to laugh along the way as well. We're going to discuss the Super Bowl halftime show. We're going to discuss the Super Bowl slightly, really only because I placed a couple of bets on the matter. And I'm going to talk about my tremendous record in my opening season of gambling with the NFL. And you know what? I'm going to try to give you some lessons that you can take away. We might as well get right into it. The show was the show, right? The most important thing was, Tyson, how did your bets do? How did your bets do, Tyson? What are the sure things that you had for the Super Bowl, and how did you do? Well, on the season, I'm going to start with the positive. On the season, I went 17-9, which means I went 1-2 for the Super Bowl. 1-2. I said Pats plus 4.5. I said the under 45.5, and I said JSN was going to win Super Bowl MVP. I was on the right track with JSN getting MVP because I figured the Seahawks would still win, but I was hoping it would be a field goal game. Obviously, everybody knows what's going on. I'm not here to reiterate what happened to the Super Bowl. Everybody knows what happened at the Super Bowl. What I'm here to do is give you the truth. And the truth is I went 1-2, but I was on the right path there. Patriots obviously got blown out, so the spread did not cover. But I always told you the under was that was another one. It seems like if the Patriots are playing in a playoff game, take the under. Very interesting observation. We'll see how that comes out next year. But that is it for sure things as far as the NFL goes. What's exciting about this time of year, yes, the NFL is over. That is disappointing. And being a brand new fan, which I have a ton to talk about as far as being a brand new fan, I'm going to be picking my team, not this week. Stay tuned for the episode that I'm going to have that revealed, who I'm signing with this offseason. And we had a good year. Like I said, 17-9 on the show. Obviously, I placed a lot more bets, but it doesn't matter. I didn't say those publicly, but there is visual and audio proof that I went 17-9 this season. First season. Pretty good. Pretty good. So what's exciting about the NFL ending is now we get to focus on the golf world. We get to focus on, obviously, basketball. The biggest thing is March Madness. We're in February. I mean, in February is like 2.5 weeks long. It's pretty insane. Very excited for that. Obviously, golf is really exciting. I think the game of golf is growing, and that's why, we have our weekly range report. As far as my sure things goes that I'm going to call now, I'm not going to call it in this moment. I wanted to recap how the season went, but I got a segment that I want to talk about, and that is where my sure thing is going to come up. There's just so much to be upset about. I mean, when I started the show, I was talking about how we're so stupid as a country and as a group of people that one week our focus is on somebody who was essentially murdered in broad daylight for no good reason, right? Other than he had a gun, and other than he was involving himself in federal agents' activity, and other than he was definitely being a bit of a menace. Other than that, there was no reason for him to die, and that's why our focus was on it. It was very important. All it takes is 1 week to go by and a Spanish-speaking man to get on stage, bring a lot of females with him, by the way. No one seems to really care about what was going on around the guy. Just that the guy spoke Spanish, and that nobody. I remember being in middle school and high school, frankly, and everybody had to learn Spanish. That seemed to be the vibe, right? Like everybody had to take a Spanish class, not a Spanish class, but a foreign language class. Most people took Spanish. The only other one offered, I think, was French. So a lot of people took Spanish, and that was because so many of the teachers, and really anybody everywhere you look, said, hey, you're probably going to want to learn Spanish because there's a lot of Spanish-speaking people that are in the United States now and a lot of Spanish-speaking people that are coming into the United States. So you look 10 years into the future, it would be very beneficial because there's going to eventually be like a 1 in 5, maybe like 1 in 3 chance that someone you're speaking to speaks Spanish. So it would be best to be able to, I guess, increase your ability to communicate with more people. That was in middle school, and I'm not that old, right? But that was 10 years ago, more, 11 years ago, 12 years ago. Jesus. I'm not old. I refuse to be that person that, hits like 27 and they're like, oh, I'm old now. Like, no. I think one of the greatest things you can do for yourself is understand that you're young, appreciate that you're young, and really use the fact that you're young. Some people want to act like, 15 to 22 is young and that's it. Once you get outside 22, it's as if you might as well be 60 in most people's eyes. Not me, not this guy. Where was I? Our focus as a country. And that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. It's just come on, guys. Let's just watch football, okay? Let's just hang out at home with the people we love. Let's focus on our hobbies. Let's stay safe by looking out for one another, looking out for the people we care about, and just leaving it at that, man. No, we're going to go get in fights with federal agents in the name of justice. We're going to go complain about Spanish-speaking people singing songs, which, by the way, he's one of the biggest artists in the world. I don't get, isn't that what the Super Bowl halftime show is ultimately for? Is for like the biggest artists in the world, if not biggest artist. It seems like they like to grab the person that's got the most amount of people talking. Because the thing that everybody wants to forget about the NFL is that it's a business. It's a business. Their product is football, but they need to find a way to get people who don't watch football on the regular to watch football. So the choice would be, let's grab the biggest artist in the world, have them do a major concert, great visuals. You don't even have to be there to really experience it. You can be on your couch watching it on TV and just also enjoy this beautiful game that's attached to before and after. So yeah, they're going to grab the biggest artist in the world, the guy with the most reach. Football is competing with soccer. Soccer has a lot of Spanish-speaking fans. It's not that crazy. But the NFL also leans left most of the time. They're doing really anything of like public stances, right? So what? It's usually just an over exaggeration of kindness. Usually, right? It's weird. It's kind of like silly, like end racism at the end of an end zone. Like, there's nothing about that that's bad. Like, that's a solid message, But why is it? Why do you have to paint it on the field? I get that that's where people kind of go with, and now a Spanish singing fella at halftime, and it's just, come on. Like, let's just get our stuff together as a whole. If everybody just started going, who cares? Do you know how much better a world we would be? Like, there's certain things we should care about, absolutely. And I don't have time today to get into it. But, i.e., the Epstein files. That should be like, everybody should wake up right now and be like, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to go mess around. I'm not gonna do anything that is not making people pay for this, because there are people that should be paying, but there's literally nothing anybody can actually do. See, I don't have time. You see why? But the thing is that something like that should have our focus as a nation, not who the hell is singing at halftime of the Super Bowl. Like, to me, it's obviously my opinion and my perspective, because I love watching football. So it's like, I am here to watch the football. If the concert's great, but who cares, And Its sole job is to get eyeballs for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. I have never seen the Super Bowl halftime show become so political. It's ridiculous. Which, by the way, the dude had every flag, like, I think, in the Americas. Oh, man, we really just need to get our focus together as a country. I don't... I don't get it. The most evil of evil, the people who are really trying to run the world, they simply can't do it unless there is chaos. And as far as chaos goes, that's a perfect segue into our weekly range report. This is the way of the Super Bowl, and this is... It's like, just shut up, man. I have breaking news. Simulated golf is not real golf. It begs the question, would the same guys who are the best in the world at real golf be the best in the world at simulated golf? I'm talking like you're in a box, fake grass, same lie every single time, whether you're hitting it out of sand or not. Like real, you spend $40 an hour to hit here. If you did a league, what would the number have to be for everybody in the world to, not everybody in the world, but like all the best golfers in the world to be like, all right, yeah, I'll see, Probably, right? Like, probably. Would Scotty Scheffler be the best golfer in the world on a simulator, or is there somebody who has figured out how to manipulate a simulator in such a way, just know the TrackMan feels the way I don't know. I'm going to make it my mission to find the best simulated golfer in the world. How would I even do that? I just made something my mission that as I explained that what my mission is, I realized it's simply going to be impossible. Jeez. I'm sorry you had to hear that. Thank you for tuning in for this week's Range Report. Catch you next week. Maybe I should just wink and make it really weird. Catch you next week. Welcome back to the non-golf portion of the show, aka the important part of the show. Was he talking shit? I bet he was. Guy's a douche. He shot a 74 at 5,400 yards and thinks he's some kind of stick. He's a bum. He's a bum. He still hits slices. He still three putts. He likes to have an opinion like he's somebody, and he wants to talk about what I do up here, not serious. I'm talking about Spanish speakers. I'm talking about... Did I talk about anything else? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Thank you for tuning into the Uncommon Show. That was episode 7. If you're following me week by week, I really appreciate you. Hopefully this episode stands out in some way because it's a big deal to me. Different studio setup. Maybe you can tell. Maybe you can't. Doesn't matter. I appreciate you tuning in either way. Please leave a like, a comment, share it, whatever. Please, please, please. I love your support. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. All right. That's enough. Bye.